What we're going to do is we're going to draw a name that you had put your name down on a sheet of paper. We're going to draw that name, and you're going to come forward and find your brick. And if you wish to do so, I know some people don't want to be public speakers, but if you wish to do so, you can stand here with the brick with the name facing out and say something about that person. And this is really an important part of the process because it's important to everyone here that we know who this person is, what they did, and what a contribution they made to this country. So we can start the process if, Susan, if you would be so kind. Okay, we have Ernest Beyer and James McShane.
Okay. This is Ernest H. Beer, my father, and James J. McShane, my father, my father-in-law. I'd just like to say, for my father, he served over in Africa and was put in charge of a POW camp over there. And he even got accommodation from President Wilson on that, and he got a medal and everything, so I was very proud of that. And just to honor both of James and Ernest with this brick. Thank you.
Dawn Rhyme.
I have two bricks. One is for my brother and one is for my father. Earl W. Osborne is my father. I have another brother over here who is with me. My father served in the U.S. Air Force in World War II. He was an ex-POW, shot down over Berlin in the second raid, and was held at Stalag 17B for 18 months. And then he returned and married my mom, and rest history. And had a wonderful life. And my brother Terry, he is a brother of another twin. But Terry served in the U.S. Air Force in Vietnam, and he was in, if I can remember, Cameron Bay, and a little town outside of Grims in Vietnam. So they both served and gave great things for our country, and we're very proud of them. And we're so happy to have a place to come and see their markers here.
Thank you for that.
And thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. And if I mispronounce this, I'm looking at it as sort of French. So I'm looking at Diane Boyer. Boyer. You're going to hold the microphone? Okay.
I don't need a microphone. My dad was born and raised in Matthews when it was dirt streets many, many, many years ago. He served 40 years in the Army.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Billy Boyette Jr., my dad. We were all raised in Matthews at one time, and Dad loved this. He loved this town. The thing I'm going to tell you about is he was sent over in the National Guard. They were called out and sent to Korea. His job was to build bridges. One of the things that he did was he built a bridge that helped take 3 tanks across the river, and one of them wasn't running. So somehow he got the chains and stuff he needed to pull the 3rd tank up to the top of the hill. And with those tanks, we advanced to the 38th parallel and won the war.
Robert Crest.
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
If you don't mind, I'll hold the microphone for you.
This is for Robert Crest, a.k.a. Bob. He unfortunately wasn't able to be here today with us. He's in Wilmington with his family, but he served in the United States Navy from 1960 to 1973 and was part of the Vietnam War. I just want to say thank you and thanks to all of you for your service, because without what you all have done, we would not have the freedoms that we have today. So once again, thank you.
Thank you. Don Ream.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who is here today, and thank Mark for all he's done in getting this together today. My dad served in World War II in the Navy, and he was very proud of his service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gene Kroom.
Thank you for coming today, and I want to tell everyone that served, I really appreciate your service. For me, it was an honor to serve in the Navy. I was fortunate enough to work on radio telecommunications equipment and serve with some awesome people, work for some great people, and with them. It was just awesome. I would encourage anybody that has a young one coming along to let them know that the military is a great place to be. It provides you an awful lot of opportunity. Thank you.
Heather Laws.
Okay. My father, George Spicer, was a World War II fighter pilot. He flew P-51s and escorted the bombers over Germany. Best dad ever.
I am going to massacre this last name, so I want to apologize in advance. Another French-looking name, which in my French is absolutely horrid. Barbara Vieux. Vieux? Vieux? Yes!
Here, come on over here.
This is my father. He served in World War II and Korean War.
That's Edward Hamilton?
Hmm.
Yep.
In the Marines. And my ex-father-in-law served World War II in the Navy. And my husband served in the Navy, but he was lucky he didn't have any war.
Kenneth Saris.
Thank you.
Okay, my father, Kenneth Saris, served in the Air Force for 28 years, and he would have been in there for life if they would let him be. He loved being in the Air Force. He loved serving the country, and he was sent to Thailand for 2 years during the Vietnam War in support of the war. So, thank you.
Andy Button.
Not much of a speaker, and I don't like to talk about myself, but this brick is for me. And I'm very proud of 27 years I spent in the Navy. I flew in the P-3 Orions, and I spent one tour driving an aircraft carrier around the Pacific, so great time.
Thank you for your service.
There's some empty. You know
There are some people that are not here, and their bricks are on the table. We will make every effort to place them in the most auspicious place we possibly can on their behalf. Now, we do have a special moment that is going to happen here in the moment. We have a individual who his name was Captain Tom Cannon, and he was the chairman of the Matthews Veterans Advisory Committee for many years. He has become a friend of so many people, and he served this town so well. And I would like to ask his wife, Barbara, if you would come forward just for a moment. Now, Barbara, I don't know if anybody's let the cat out of the bag yet or not, but in honor of your husband, and there is a representative here from Senator Tillis's office. His name is James Estes. And he has a flag that was flown over the Capitol building to be presented to you, along with some certificates from Senator Tillis. So I'm going to let James take it from here. All right, thanks.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to be with y'all. Nobody likes a long-winded politician, so I'm going to be brief. Senator Tillis often says that we owe everything to our veterans. We have to make as many installments to pay them back as possible. And so he is proud to be on the VA committee. He does everything he can to serve all of you. So if you served, I want to first off say thank you for your service. I want to say God bless you. And to our Vietnam veterans, I want to say welcome home. Barbara, thank you for letting me join you today. The senator flew this flag over the Capitol building up in Washington, D.C. in honor of your husband. He did so much for the town of Matthews. Hopefully everyone who's here knows all the great accomplishments that he was able to make for all of them and for the town. God bless you. May he rest in peace. We'll miss him, and I hope that this flag can bring a little keepsake that you can remember him by and a little bit of joy.
Thank you. Those of you that knew Tom, he was a United States Navy captain for 32 years, served in Vietnam, and his last commission was liaison to the governor of North Carolina. Today I'd like to thank Mark Tofano and the American Legion, Doug Rose and the Matthews Veterans Advisory Committee, Senator Tom Tillis for the honor, and his staff, and Mayor Higdon. Tom worked closely with him. Thank you all very much.
And Doug, would you want to say anything at all? Doug is the new chairman of the Matthews Veterans Advisory Committee. He's got big shoes to fill, but he's doing an absolutely enormously wonderful job. And for those of you that are not familiar with the Matthews Veterans Advisory Committee, it's a group of citizens, both veterans and civilian, that come together to work with the town to provide input into the town government of what's best for veterans and how to promote veterans affairs in the town of Matthews. But I know you have something wonderful to say about Tom.
Well, first of all, I've been here a little over a year. I keep on saying that, and people say, you can't use that excuse anymore. You're from Matthews now. I actually came in from the Washington, D.C., Maryland area. Came down here because I had my daughter with the grandchildren, and my wife and I joined them here just recently, so we're very proud and very happy to be here in this town. Tom, the good thing about Tom, and Barbara can attest to it, after his passing, I actually went over to their house, and to pick up some of the items that Tom had for us that were part of the Veterans Committee. I think I walked out of there with 4 boxes full of items that he had for this thing. He had everything documented. So Jack, thank you for going through that, and Larry going through the 4 boxes, because I didn't even know where to start with all the material that he had in there. What made it easy for me is that he had everything organized, and he had a great staff, and my staff is here back here with Charlene, Larry, and Jack as far as the executive committee for the Veterans Advisory Committee. So thank you guys so much. They made it so easy to fill in those shoes and get going. And I do want to thank the mayor and some of his town board members who joined us today also for coming out here. I got into the hot seat right away with this beautiful park here for Stumptown and the memorial, and I'll leave it at that. But it's been very interesting, and it's been fun, and I know there's a lot more things that we are going to be able to do here in the very near future. So again, thank you for allowing me to be part of this ceremony and for being part of your town.
Now, for those of you that are not aware of what's been happening over the last couple of months, this area right in here, approximately 4 feet from the sidewalk, all the way from the left to right, is now officially called, by vote of the town council, the Matthews Veterans Memorial Park. This is the first time in the history of Matthews that Matthews has had an area where veterans could be honored in a significant and lasting way. And this means, obviously it means a lot to many, many people, because in addition to the 20 or 30 people that were here today for placing their bricks, prior to them were 180 that have placed their bricks. So this is an important spot to honor and remember the service that the veterans of Matthews have given to us. So having said that, I'd like to close this ceremony, and I'd like to have all the veterans in the audience. Would you please come forward? I never cease to be in a sense of awe when I am with my brothers and sisters like this. I get a little emotional, so please forgive me. Some of these men and women have lost good friends in service. Some of them have felt as though perhaps through their years they have not been properly recognized as a veteran. And I hope that this place and this type of ceremony does something to alleviate and mitigate whatever that issue may have been. So I want to thank you all very much. And don't move, because we're going to turn around and we're going to salute all of the fallen that are here in the paver area. Thank you. Salute! And thank you all very much. This concludes the ceremony.